had to borrow a plug. Nice job on the first try.
All right, let's roll. Now that we gotcha, we ain't taking you straight home.
Hey, can I ask something? My friend's in trouble, and I'd like everyone's input. Ooh, that sounds like fun.
Testing. Is this thing on, ladies and gentlemen? Can you all see me? Most importantly, and this is, I stress this point, this is the most important part. Can you all hear me? Let's hope I start a stream without having some type of a fuck up. You know how these things go. There's always technical difficulties at Casa de Neo, man. All right, I'm seeing some of the homies. Okay. Let me go ahead and pop this chat out right quick. Drag y'all over here. All right, audio check. Everything good? Everything good, y'all? How are things? How's the background? I put the background music pretty low, but I'm gonna bring it up a bit. I want y'all to have some nice ambiance through this stream. All right. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of the homies. All right, you guys know what we got to do. We got to start out from the top with the shout outs. All right, shout out to Ghost Fixter. Good to see you, man. Ghost Rider. We got a ghost duology going up in this stream. Holy shit. We got Epsi Dawn, Naruto ST, Help Me 100. I don't know. I guess the other 99 times people didn't help him, but dang. Hello there, Help Me 100. Oh, we got the homie Flame in the chat. Who else we got? We got Bryce, Lucky Diamond, DIMWITMONKEY, Wagwan brother. We got Rhino. Welcome back, my guy. Yes, it is good to be back, y'all. It is so good to be back. What else we got in here? We got Beto Rods. We got Oblivion checking in. Nicholas Vu. We got Matthew, aka Atlanta. How you doing, bro? How you doing? Let's see, we got Playboy 182. Yes, right. Shout out. We got POTC 3000. What's going on? Oh, it's like a little reunion, man. We take like 3 weeks off of streaming, and it's like we haven't seen each other in 5 years. This shit crazy. We got Rescue Squad coming in. Narukami 2D. Who else is up in this? We got NKDN. What's up? We got Sean Wachowski. Let's see. We got Valkian24. What's good, Maddie? What's up? We got Gian the Don, the one and only Don. What's good, bro? We got James MCFC, Belladonna. Hey, I'm Havoc's daughter. Oh shit, we got a lineage up in this chat. Oh, we'll touch on that a little bit. But what's going on, Bella? Welcome to the stream. Oh, and then we got, who else we got in here? We got J-Rock. Oh, we got Robert Storms. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. We got Blue Senshi. We got, what is that? Koros? What's good, Koros? And, yeah, of course, we got, Luis Mayorga coming in. Of course, always the last person I gotta give the shout outs to. But, I see we already got some super chats coming in, so I'm gonna get the intros out of the way. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the very first Ask Neo of 2022. First things first, I want to wish everybody out there a happy new year, y'all. We are officially in, I guess you could say, COVID's junior year. It's fucking insane to think about. But yes, we are going into year 3 of this pandemic. But you know, the important thing is that we're all here together, and that's what matters. I hope you guys had a great holiday season, whatever holiday you celebrate, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, what have you. Hope you guys got a lot of gaming in. Hope you all got a lot of quality rest. I might as well just address this because I know I talked about it on my Halo Infinite video, but your boy, part of the reason why I wasn't streaming, well, there was 2 reasons. Number one, it was getting close to the end of the year, and you know how the end of the year is. You get burnt out on things. It just happens. It's just a part of life. But another reason was your boy got hit with that you-know-what, man. That Omicron variant. It's insane, bro, because I did pretty well for myself the past 2 years, not really contracting anything. But then, for whatever reason, this new variant, the way it's been spreaded, dude, it's like every other day somebody I knew or somebody that they knew caught this, and I got it. So I was knocked out from, I want to say a little bit before Christmas up until like the beginning of the new year. So when you guys saw that Halo Infinite video go up, that was the first time in that 2-week period where I felt even remotely okay. Like, I mean, I was still able to do stuff like eat food, relax, watch TV or whatever. But when it came down to mentally focusing on things, it was just, it was like not there. And it was the weirdest thing. In my 12-13 years of content creation, I've always been able to focus when I was recording, but getting hit with that Omicron, I don't know, it just did something to my brain. But then once all the symptoms subsided, I was able to rebuild, restore everything. And, you know, we back in business, baby, with the first stream of the year. So yeah, I know a lot of people in this chat over the past 2 weeks have either contracted this or someone they know has come down with it. It's crazy. So all I can say to y'all is just make sure you keep yourself safe and healthy. That's the only thing I want to say. Oh, and then we got the homie Black Bond coming in. What's good, Bond? How you doing, bro? What's up? What's up? But yeah, so, you know, Ask Neo, if y'all are tuning in for the very first time, you don't know what this is. Ask Neo is my weekly Q&A series where you guys ask me questions and I try to answer them to the best of my ability. There's no real type of flow or structure. It's not really a podcast of sorts where we've got news topics we want to hit on. That is something that I'm experimenting with in 2022, a proper podcast to go alongside Ask Neo where we actually tackle all of those topics, and then, you know, we'll split those off into individual videos if people want to hear it. But that won't be starting until, well, tomorrow, actually. Holy shit. I keep forgetting how fast time is going. But yeah, tomorrow, expect a long form podcast to be uploaded on the channel, just talking about this past week in gaming and just a whole bunch of other stuff. You know how things go. So that'll be dropping tomorrow evening. And yeah, other than that, you know, we're just chill. We're hanging out here. You guys ask questions. We talk about stuff. And thank you so much for all the well wishes over the past week or so. I went through that Halo Infinite video and I saw a lot of people saying, I'm glad you're doing better and all that stuff. Cause yeah, it was not fun, man. Especially when you lose your voice and your sense of taste and smell. Man, it's never again, man. Never again. But yeah, let me just go ahead and get through a couple of these super chats right quick. We got a $5 super chat coming in from the homie Blue Senshi 19. Thank you so much, bro. Happy motherfucking New Year, Neo. First super chat of the year. How are you? My job is on that bullshit. Yeah, man. So I'm doing much better now than I was 2 weeks back. Hope you're doing good as well, bro. And dude, yeah, the past 2 weeks or so, like, even one of my jobs that I do on the side, you know, just to get a quick cash and everything, I told them that I contracted this like early last week, right? Because, you know, I wanted to make sure I tested positive before I go scaring everybody. So I told them this early last week, right? I was going through the symptoms and everything, and then they hit me up earlier this week saying, "Yo, you good to come into work?" And I was like, "Fam." Like, are you serious? Like, I had to hit him with a really, because you know how it is nowadays, man. These jobs, they don't be caring, man. It's like we went through this pandemic and people are like, all right, it's over. That's it. It's like, what happened to all the other things? What happened to staying safe and healthy and all that stuff? It's just the whole thing I'm not going to get into. But, you know, I always prioritize being healthy and safe, because the thing I noticed with this Omicron, or just anyone who catches COVID, when you start feeling better, that doesn't mean that it's over. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's something about these symptoms that they just keep coming back over the following week. So when I started to feel better, that was about 2 weeks in. But all throughout this past week, every now and then I get hit with like a minor headache or, you know, a little bit of an eye strain. And I know it's not my prescription because I just got new glasses last year. They got the blue light filters and all that stuff. And I take really good care of my health. So it's true when they say that you need bare minimum like 2 weeks to make sure that you're 100% good, because that feeling, I don't know how to describe it. It doesn't leave your system. So yeah, I mean, the mayor of New York is a I don't want to get too much into politics on the first stream, but the mayor of New York and the way he was describing this whole thing, and we got to get people back in business for the economy, these low skill workers. And I'm like, fam, it's crazy how essential workers went from being heroes to back to what society's always viewed them as. It's kind of ironic. But yeah, man, Blue Senshi, the important thing is just don't sacrifice your health and your well-being for any job. It does not matter, man, because the number one rule is whether you stay at that job for the next 30 years or you collapse at that job, you want to know what's going to happen? They're going to clock you out, call the ambulance, and then the next day they're going to put up a help wanted sign or a help wanted listing on Indeed or whatever. Because that's just the harsh reality of a lot of these jobs, man. Shit is crazy. And then we got Flame coming in, who's been a member of the Phantom Weirdos for the past couple of months. Neo, I went to see my therapist recently and they asked me why I've been depressed lately. All I could say was, I don't know, ask Neo. Happy New Leave it to this guy, Flame. Leave it to this guy, Flame. I don't know, ask Neo. I like that, Flame. You see, and that kind of clever and witty writing is why you have won Scribe of the Year over at lordsofgaming.net. So everyone out here, give this man Flame a round of applause because he ended up being the best writer of the year over at Lords of Gaming. I'm still getting back into the swings of Ask Neo. Y'all know how this shit is. But yeah, you know, congratulations to you, Flame. I mean, maybe that has to do with the fact that you just sat and ate a tub of mayo while you were writing most of these articles. I don't know, but hey, here we are. This is the world we live in. But yeah, everybody, I just want to say it's great to see y'all. Seriously, it's great to see y'all. I know it hasn't been that long. I mean, the last Ask Neo we had was I want to say it was it the 11th? I think it was the 11th of December. So, you know, we didn't have one on the 18th. 25th was Christmas. The 1st was New Year's. So yeah, it's been 3 weeks. It feels much longer, but you know what? It's good. So I want to know what y'all have been up to over the past couple of weeks. I know some of y'all have been at work, but a lot of y'all have been on vacation as well. Did you guys use this opportunity to catch up on a lot of games? Did you start any new TV shows? Did you watch some movies? I know that there's that one movie y'all want me to talk about, and we're going to talk about it for a bit. But yeah, while you guys do that right now, I'm just going to go ahead and get through the super chats right quick. Let's see, we have a $5 super chat coming in from the homie Flame. Also, I'm glad you're okay, man. No one should go through that, but 2 questions. Doki Doki when? And how is the ending of Tales? Oh, this bastard. So yes, for those asking about the Doki Doki streams, I know I always say it's coming soon, it's coming soon. And originally, we were going to have that Doki Doki stream before the end of the year, but you know, when you got hit with the COVID, Rona had different ideas right there. But the Doki Doki stream will be going down tomorrow evening. I haven't settled on the time just yet because I have to finish up a few things, you know, before the new week starts. But we're gonna finish up the final part of Doki Doki tomorrow night, maybe around 6 o'clock, you know, give or take. But you know, just follow me on Twitter if y'all need the updates. And then we got $10 coming in from Blue Senshi 19. I would at some point love to live in Japan for a while. I want to experience new cultures in the future. Neo, always late, getting the vid 3 years into the pandemic. Love you, bro. Thank you for being here. No, man, thank you. Thank everybody here for being here. Like, I'm just so happy and thankful that we've made it to another year. I know some people like to say, oh, that's just content creators being content creators, blah, blah, blah. Thank your supporters. But nah, I mean, the thing is, like, the older you get, you realize that tomorrow is never promised. So you have to take advantage of every single day that you live. And if you're, you know, grateful enough to have amazing bonds and connections with people, you should celebrate those things. Not when you hit milestones like 10,000 subscribers, 20,000 subscribers. No, it should be when y'all is just chilling, mind your business, catching up on things. Like that's what it's all about. So yeah, I'm happy that everybody's here. Seriously. You know, and again, I appreciate all the love and support. That doesn't go unnoticed, if you will. But yeah, to answer Flame's second question, how's the ending of Tales? Bro, you know what the thing about Tales of Arise is? For a game that I loved so much throughout my playthrough, y'all know this, I was standing Tales of Arise. That game just took a nosedive in the final act. And, you know, it's not one of those things where, you know, X part of a game shouldn't affect your overall enjoyment if you really love the game. But when X part of the game is literally nothing but an exposition dump for hours on end, it just, oh man, it really takes you out of the experience, bro. Especially in like a 50, 60 hour RPG, man. It's crazy. But like, I'm right there in the last section. I'm tired of sitting through the cutscenes. If anything, I might just, sacrilegious, I know. Nobody tell Jazzy Jeff, nobody tell Corey Gryffindor, but I might just like skip the last part of the cutscenes just so I could beat the final boss and just be done with it. Cause man, that exposition dump is heavy. Y'all have no idea, man. Y'all have no idea. Marcus says, it's okay, Neo. You can say you're struggling with those final bosses. It ain't even that. It ain't even that, bro. I mean, it's not even that, man. Don't even say that, because I'm always up for a challenge. It's just, bro, when you over here explaining to me what y'all are doing for 30 minutes at a time, I'm like, damn, my man, come on now. But yeah, oh wow, so Oblivion says, after 21 years in the Air Force, I retired and finally got a job. Oh shit, that's awesome, dude. How has that been, transitioning from Air Force life to regular civilian life? Were you like 21 years actually in the Air Force, or did you take some time and you were, you know, like doing stuff out here while also doing that? Because I know some people, they have it like different ways, like they either stay all in or they're on reserves. But yeah, that's really crazy, man. Congratulations. 21 years, not 20, 21 years. That's awesome. As of today, I've officially been a NeoGameSpark fan for 14 years. It was after the Qmon vlog too. After that, the rest is history. Oh, Adam, man. I appreciate you, bro. Dude, I keep saying this, but it's very surreal. Like, I've legit known some of y'all people longer than I've known members of my family. That's the craziest thing. Like, I've known this person on the internet through anime and video games more than I've known some of my cousins who technically were around the same age, but I don't know them as well. It's fucking wild, bro. But yo, you know what it is? It's just you in life, you appreciate people more and more the older you get, and you want to spend time with the people that you fucks with. No one should have to spend time trying to force a relationship, whether it's romantic or platonic. You shouldn't have to do that. You should spend that time with people, because family doesn't necessarily have to be blood. Family could be people you break bread with. And that's the most important thing at the end of the day. All right, so we have a big shout out coming in from Colin, my boy, first one of the year. And I couldn't do that over the past couple weeks. Like, me screaming and raising my voice, could not do that. But shout out to my boy Colin over there in Canada. Hey Chris, how are you tonight, man? I'm doing pretty good, Colin, now that I've seen you, bro. It's so good to see you again. My very important question is, have you seen or read Komi Can't Communicate? If not, I highly recommend you check out either the anime or manga. 18 months. Yes, you've been a member for 18 months. Colin is a straight up stan of the Phantom Weirdos, the next Hokage. I appreciate you, brother. And you know, the thing is, Komi Can't Communicate is on my list. I actually added it to my next Netflix queue a while back, but I just haven't got a chance to like sit down and watch it. I know Bella, where you at? I don't know if Bella has seen Komi Can't Communicate, because she's a big anime fan. That's what Havoc has told me. But yeah, it's on my list. I've heard a lot of good things about it. The last anime I watched was JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6. And that was fucking phenomenal, man. But the worst part about it is that I want to see the next part of JoJo. And I know that's not going to happen for 2 to 3 years. And that just kills me on the inside. But, you know, for what we got with Part 6, I really appreciate it. But yeah, Komi Can't Communicate is on my list. And you guys already know, tomorrow, Attack on Titan Season 4 Part 2 starts. So I'm going to be watching that on a weekly basis. The first time I've ever done that for Attack on Titan, which is crazy. Because, you know, Attack on Titan, I watched the first season, watched the second season. Didn't watch the third or the fourth season, honestly, until like the past year and a half. And I fucking love it, man. I can't wait to see how this concludes. I know a lot of folks are sour on the ending, which I don't know anything about. And if those who have seen in the comment section, keep spoilers to a very, very, very bare minimum. But yeah, I'm excited to see this journey through to the end. And who knows, they might take some creative liberties with the endings. We don't know. But yeah, Colin, appreciate you as always, my brother. Hope you're staying safe up in Canada. I think Canada, I'm not sure if it's all of Canada, but I think one of the major provinces, they closed down their theaters, right? Because of the Omicron spread. So I hope you're doing good, bro. Oh, and I want to give a shout out to my boy Gian the Don for becoming a member of the Phantom Weirdos. Thank you so much for that, brother. You the best. All right. It's always about family, like your Vin Diesel. Hey, man, you know, maybe he was onto something with that shit, bro. I don't know. You know what it is? I am partly emotional just because I haven't seen y'all in a while. That's probably what it is. Oh, nah, Bella, you good. Yo, look at Bella out here cooking. She's making some sea salt brownies. Damn, that shit is good. Yo, do you know how to make sea salt ice cream? Because all my Kingdom Hearts fans in the room, they know what I'm talking about when I say that sea salt ice cream. Oh, man. But yeah, so as far as what I've been watching over the past couple weeks, so yeah, anime-wise, the only thing I watched was JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6. And then I've just been catching up on a lot of shows that I watched like a year or two ago, but didn't watch the final, or the most recent season. So Better Call Saul, I am almost caught up with the recent season. And dude, if y'all are not watching Better Call Saul, I don't know what to tell you, man. Better Call Saul is one of those rare shows where you have the original crew coming back from Breaking Bad to work on this prequel. And it's a show that is able to stand toe-to-toe with Breaking Bad. That never happens. Like, it's very rare that you have a prequel or a sequel series that is good as an original. But Better Call Saul. Now, it might take a little while to hit its stride because the first, 2.5 seasons, they're very slow. Because they're more about character building and showing you how this character ended up the way he did in Breaking Bad. But once this show puts its foot on the gas, it gets wild. So Better Call Saul has been on my list. In addition to that, The Witcher season 2, I finally finished that one up. Really interesting season. I know this one is going to be very divisive amongst a lot of people. I know a lot of the book lovers, they hate what they did in season 2, and I can totally understand from a purist perspective. But at the same time, the story and what they told, it does have a lot of highlights. I'm of course trying to tippy toe around it because I know it is still fresh and some people haven't seen The Witcher season 2. But for what they did, I think it was a more concise season compared to the first season of The Witcher, where the storytelling was really all over the place. Like 1 second we're in this timeline and then it's a flashback scene here. And it's very hard to distinguish where we're at in the story. The narrative was all over the place. But this one is just more concise to the point, and I really enjoyed that. Going forward with season 3, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with a lot of these characters, especially because they've made a lot of the things their own with this Witcher show. It's kind of like a hybrid of the books, the games, and then them putting their own spin on things. So if you're a big fan of The Witcher 3, which I know that's the majority of people out there, you're going to like the way they did the combat in season 2. It got a major step up in terms of budget, in terms of visuals. It looks great. What else have I been watching? I rewatched all of the Sam Raimi, just in general, all of the Spider-Man movies leading up to Spider-Man No Way Home. So it's the 3 Sam Raimi movies, the 2 Mark Webb ones, Into the Spider-Verse for good measure, of course, you got to. It's one of the best. And then the Tom Holland ones leading up to Spider-Man No Way Home. And that was a lot of fun revisiting those movies because, as I'm sure many of y'all remember if you've been a fan of the channel for a while, and I'll get to your super chat in a second, bro. I haven't skipped it. I'm very critical when it comes down to Spider-Man movies. We all have our preferences. Like, my favorite Spider-Man is for all time going to be Andrew Garfield. But the thing is, when you go back and you rewatch movies every, I want to say 5 years or so, you either notice different things or the things that you thought were problems aren't necessarily, they don't hit you as hard as they did before. You know what I'm saying? You can learn to appreciate something for what it is. So with the Sam Raimi movies, I mean, I admit I'm not a fan of the cheese. I'm not a fan of, Tobey Maguire being very wooden, and it's just would it kill this dude to emote, but just going back upon rewatching it and what those movies did for the time that they came out, you appreciate it a lot more. I remember Spider-Man 2. I went this period of time where I was like, no, the first Spider-Man movie is better than the second one. And then rewatching it, I was like, Spider-Man 2, if you strip away, Mary Jane being a terrible character, there's a lot of good stuff in that, and Doc Ock and everything he went through. You just really love those sort of things. So yeah, it was great watching all the Spider-Man movies leading into Spider-Man No Way Home, and it's no spoiler, the movie's been out for an entire month, but if you were a fan of all those movies, there's a lot of callbacks in Spider-Man No Way Home, and I'm not just talking about the cameos, I'm talking about lines of dialogue, I'm talking about character interactions. It's a lot of good stuff. What else have I done? I rewatched Interstellar recently, which, dude, I understand, when we talk about movies, we all like to get very sensational. We like to hype things up. We like to use these big, giant buzzwords. But honest to God, I think that Interstellar is one of the greatest films I have ever seen in my entire life. And it didn't hit me like that the first time. I remember I watched Interstellar and I was like, all right, this is kind of cool. I mean, I'm a big Christopher Nolan fan. He's one of my favorite directors working today. But I was like, yeah, Interstellar's cool, great and everything. But when I rewatched it most recently, like not most recently, like back in 2020, I rewatched it. I was in awe of what we were witnessing. And I was able to appreciate a lot more things upon the second, third, fourth rewatch I did. Like, I think I've rewatched Interstellar 3 times in the past year and a half. It's crazy. But yeah, a lot of the emotional beats hit a hell of a lot harder now. And just how they were able to incorporate the score. Like, the score is a character in that movie. And I know people say that all the time, but it's just, wow. You know, and now that I've got pretty decent, like, speakers set up in my room, I can experience everything for what it was truly envisioned. Dude, Interstellar is like, I don't really get too emotional when I watch movies, but Interstellar damn near makes me cry when I check it out, man. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. But let me go ahead and catch up on these super chats right quick. We have $5 coming in from Epsi Dawn. Keep up the good work, man. Kinda miss your Hunt the Truth podcast, as it was a good roast fest for companies doing some BS. Always bully corporations. Yes, Epsi Dawn, that is right. So for those who don't know, Hunt the Truth was a podcast I did with two of my boys, Tundex and my boy Shadow Slayer. If he watches this, he's gonna hate the fact that I called him that, but that's like his OG gamer tag, so I'll always know him by Shadow Slayer. It was a podcast that we did where we talked about a lot of stuff happening in the industry. Mainly, like, we were one of the, I guess you could say, anti-Nintendo podcasts, because we were one of the few during the time of the Wii U leading into the Switch that was very critical of Nintendo. And you didn't really see that too often. There was like Black Bond, of course, Shokyo. And then you didn't really see too many people critiquing Nintendo because nostalgia. That is what it is. Even now with the Switch, people don't critique Nintendo because they're still going to buy their stuff. It is what it is, unfortunately. Cardboard. But I love doing Hunt the Truth with them. Unfortunately, you know, it's not that we all drifted apart. Like, I still talk to those dudes every single day. It's just we all have different things going on in our life, you know? Ryan had a lot more free time now. You know, he's got a job and everything. He's doing his thing. Tundex is doing really good in his career, and he's got a lot of stuff happening with his own streams. So it's kind of hard to coordinate everything on a consistent basis, which is why I always say, you know, most of the podcasts I do with other people are very inconsistent just because we have a lot of different things happening. Like, Shut Up Gabe, for example, he just had a baby girl a few months ago. So, you know, every now and then that takes up his time. So, you know, it's just one of the things in adulthood. But yeah, like, we all still keep in contact. We all still watch each other's content. We all still roast things when necessary. But yeah, I appreciate the fact that you enjoyed the show, man. Thank you so much. We got $5 coming in from the homie GC Plugs, aka Bobby, my guy. Woo, finally, I'm here for a Q&A. How you doing, bro? Happy New Year, everyone. Yes, Happy New Year to you too, man. I saw you on the social media yesterday getting a little litty drinking that sushi. Wow, I sound like I'm litty right now. But shout out to you, Bobby. I hope all is well. And yeah, man, don't drink sushi, because apparently that's something that Neo does. But what's going on to all the new people in the chat I didn't see? We got PS Rewind, we got Corey Gryffindor, we got Fear No Hate, Iceman, Alan V. What's cracking, y'all? How y'all doing? Oh, Roosevelt's in here too. What's up, y'all? What's up? I hope everyone's doing well. Like I said, we getting back to the swing of things. $4.99 from the homie John McKinney. Good to see you, man. We all know that Darth Vader is going to be in the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series. What is the likelihood we will see Darth Sidious? Good question. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. But I want to see exactly how they're going to tell the story of Obi-Wan and Vader, because in my personal headcanon, all right, we're getting into some Star Wars shit right now, guys. In my personal headcanon, I like the idea that Obi-Wan and Vader hadn't seen each other since their duel at the end of Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. I don't know why I used the full title. I could have just said Revenge of the Sith or Episode 3, but I said no, Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. I go very PR mode extremely quickly, if you guys couldn't tell. But yeah, hold on. There's this, let me just, because I can hear the audio coming in from my headphones, but let me mute that. Hopefully there's no double echo. But yeah. So I like the idea in my headcanon that the first time we see Vader and Obi-Wan in Star Wars Episode 4 was the first time that they'd seen each other since Revenge of the Sith. That's what I personally think. I don't know if something happened along the way. Maybe. But that's where my mind goes. But the fact that Darth Vader is going to be in this Obi-Wan TV series, it makes me wonder, are they going to have some type of a duel, or is it just going to be a glorified cameo where, you know, Obi-Wan is going to be dealing with the fact that not only is the Jedi Order, everything that he knew, all that shit just went down the drain, but he lost every single meaningful relationship in his life, you know, especially with Anakin Skywalker. So I don't know if they are actually going to go and have them lead into a duel, or it's just going to be Obi-Wan's doing his thing over here and Vader's doing his thing over here, and we're just adding context to the world, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think if you are going to bring Vader in, Sidious, like, you can't let the last time we see Palpatine in a modern context be the rise of Skywalker. I refuse to believe that. We need to have Palpatine come back and redeem himself. Yes, it'll be in a prequel way, but we need that. I don't want Palpatine's last notable line in Star Wars lore to be, "I am all the Sith, you are all the Jedi." Like, no, I refuse to let that happen. We are not letting the ship go down like that. But yeah, I'm extremely excited to see what they do on this Obi-Wan Kenobi show, because Obi-Wan Kenobi, I've always said that you don't really need to make Obi-Wan Kenobi the next big Star Wars story, because the story of Obi-Wan post episode 3 is very tragic, extremely tragic. Like, you remember in Return of the Jedi, was it Return of the Jedi or was it Empire Strikes Back? I'm not sure. But you know, the scene where Obi-Wan was just sitting down and he was just basically like, you know, if Luke, you can't do this, then we're all doomed, or something along those lines. I know Star Wars fan is going to come in here and correct me. But yeah, like, I love the idea of seeing how this Obi-Wan can become that Obi-Wan, and what happened in that time span of what is only like, what, 20 something years, and it looked like he aged. It looked like he aged 60 years in that time span. But yeah, like, I'm always a sucker for very personal, character-driven character pieces, more so than the bombastic, like, lightsabers and, you know, AT-ATs and, you know, space combat. All that stuff is great and everything, but at the core of it, I want a really emotional character story for Obi-Wan Kenobi. You don't even have to do anything in the ways of lightsaber fights or what have you. Like, I could care less, man. Just give me like the Logan for Obi-Wan Kenobi, if you guys get what I'm saying. Not necessarily make it 100% violent or whatever, but tell a character piece. Do a Joker, like, let it be a character piece, and everything else, that can just be icing on the cake. Alrighty, let's see. And then the last super chat, $2 coming in from the homie Valkian24. Hey bro, what would your first tattoo be? Ooh, so yes, if you guys don't know, follow me on Twitter, by the way, twitter.com/NeoGameSpark. That's where I do most of my, you know, hot takes, spicy posts, and all that stuff. But I talked about how this year, one of my goals is I want to start getting tattooed. Now, I've always thought about getting tattooed for the longest time, but, you know, it's one of those things you always say to just, for whatever reason, you don't do it. But this year, I do want to start doing that. So in my spare time, I've been designing, like, you know, visually designing what kind of tattoos I would want, whether it's going to be like an entire sleeve, or I'm just going to get 1 or 2 tattoos. Where else would I get it on my body? And I've settled for my first tattoo design, which I'm not going to reveal on stream. I'm going to wait until I actually get the tattoo, and then I'll post it on social media for y'all to see. But yeah, you know, I have a lot of interesting ideas. It's like, how do you blend everything together? That's where I'm at right now, because I have a lot of cool ideas that can take up, you know, the entirety of my arm right here. But it's like, how do you blend all that stuff? That's where my mindset is. But yeah, I'm gonna be getting a few tattoos this year. Oh, shout out to the homie J-Dub in the chat. What's going on, bro? What's up, man? Hope all is well. Yo, J-Dub, you kill me with J-Dub is an agent of chaos. We all know that. Anyone who follows the homie on Twitter, they know that shit. But J-Dub, he posted, because, you know, there's the whole Xbox nail polish thing going on. That one image he posted, that shit took me out, bro. I was crying, man. There were real tears in my eyes, bro. The salt from my tears. Oh, my God. That shit was crazy. But what's going on to all the people? What's up, Michael Brent? What's up, JMac19? What's up, Reed94? We got Positive Gamer in the chat. We said, what's cracking? I cracked an egg. You see, Bella? It's like this is all synergy. Like, everyone here, we all connected. Like it's Kingdom Hearts in this bitch, man. All right, but yeah, let's get back to some of these questions right quick. Mary Jane in the Sam Raimi movies was the definition of toxic, bro. Like, listen, Peter Parker in those movies wasn't perfect, but Mary Jane, she was jumping from dick to dick like it was going out of style, bro. Like, one minute she's with this dude, and then she's with that dude, then she was with Peter, and then she's with that dude. I'm like, fam, relax, bro, relax. We stand Emma Stone, Gwen Stacy, and Zendaya MJ all day, every day. Kristen Dunst, I don't even think she exists. That's it, man. Someone got to release a different cut of that movie with no Mary Jane Watson. That's all I'm talking about. Agent of Chaos on Twitter, but it's show, bro, in the chat. Yeah, people always, they just look at J-Dub's tweets on Twitter and they think that like he's hella serious with that shit. But it's all jokes. Like, the thing about this console war thing is most of the people know we don't take this seriously. It's all jokes. But it's the people who say stuff like, I will kill you over Xbox and PlayStation. That's when it's like, fam, come on now. Like, if you can't laugh at the fact that someone paints nail polish yellow and that symbolizes 69 on Metacritic, you know, the Xbox template, as people say, like, come on now. It's like no different than when we all make jokes about Jim Ryan. Like, it's just fun stuff. But of course, extremists, they take that shit too seriously, man. All right, let's see. Yeah, Star Wars Visions was really enjoyable. I mean, not all the episodes I was crazy about, but you know, there was some really good stuff there that if they want to do something going forward, that's what I'm talking about. But one thing I am happy to see in the past, definitely like the past couple of years, is more of a serious focus on Western animation. Because the whole stigma, East versus West, when it comes to animation, a lot of people are like, you look to Western animation for either really raunchy cartoons or kids shows, whereas anime has a more diverse palette. You know, you can get your raunchy comedic shows, you can get your kid shows, but you can also get really serious stories. One thing we're seeing is the rise, or at least we're getting back to Western animation where it has serious long form storytelling, where it doesn't just appeal to kids. Like the Castlevania show on Netflix, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I fucking love it, man. It's one of the few examples where I'm like, every single season I get forward to watching it. I get forward. Like I said, my brain, I'm getting back to Ask Neo. I'm getting back to Ask Neo. Trust me, guys. I do know the English language. But I look forward to every season of the new Castlevania show. And, you know, Witcher is dabbling into that animation. And I mean, Arcane. I have not started Arcane yet. But, you know, Arcane is just lighting up the charts. Critical acclaim with critics, with fans. It seems to be doing a lot of good stuff. So, yeah, that's one thing I do hope we start seeing more of. Like, less video games in live action and more animated video game series. Like, I think most people would prefer seeing Metal Gear Solid done in like an anime style versus a movie, or they would love to see Jesus Christ, they would love to see like a Halo series that's actually long form storytelling where you deal with other things happening in the Halo universe, right? I'm not saying that the live action series can't be good, but I mean, when Sonic the Hedgehog is the pinnacle of live action adaptations, like let's be real for a second, man. Let's be real. But yeah, like I just think that animation is just an untapped market in the Western media, and unfortunately it's still looked at like there's still this stigma attached to it where folks can't take it seriously. Like, people would rather spend triple the amount on a live action Resident Evil movie than tell a really good animated Resident Evil story. And that sucks. That kills me on the inside. And there's a lot of Nintendo properties. Like, I remember, what was it? Like a few years back, this must have been like 6 years ago, there were rumors circulating that Netflix was potentially going to do something with The Legend of Zelda. I don't remember if that was a rumor or it just didn't work out. But I would love to see a Legend of Zelda anime, an animated series where you just talk about the history of Hyrule. Like, well, obviously that'd be a little complicated because now we have a lot of these different games, and it seems like every game kind of contradicts the timeline in some weird way. But you know, stories like that, the story of Metroid is prime for a series. There's so much stuff you could adapt. Maybe do something like, I can see like Luigi's Mansion being a great little animated series for kids. that'd be great, man. You get like really competent writers on it, and that's the thing. A lot of the best animated shows that we see nowadays, things like what is it, Owl House, like shows that have really good writing and they develop the characters within, you know, this short amount of time, and they still have to appeal to kids. Like, take those writers and let them work on these stories. Like, that's what I would love to see more of. Every now and then they dabble in that stuff. Every now and then, like Zelda, for example, it delves into the manga. Pokemon has delved into the manga, but you know, the reach that a manga has for something versus like an animated series, it's no competition. Like, look how hard it is to get people to read the manga of some shows like Dragon Ball, you know? It's like, read, nigga, read! So if people are asking, do you need to watch JoJo Part 5 for Part 6? The thing I always tell people when it comes to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is you need to watch every single part. It's not one of those series where you can really jump on board with X part here and just watch it. I know some people have, like, some people got into JoJo with Stardust Crusaders and they enjoyed it, and that's cool, but you gain so much more appreciation for these characters when you see where they've come, you know? So yeah, I always maintain, just start JoJo from the very beginning. Love the world, love the characters, love how crazy and zany it gets as it progresses, and then how it dials it back a bit. JoJo's awesome. Dragon Ball fans can't read though. I mean, listen, that's a fact. That's a fact. We know that, and I'm a big Dragon Ball stan. But damn, at least attempt. It has pictures. You can read the words. Oh, Jay, I know that Attack on Titan, bro. I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna find out when I finish the anime. I was gonna read the manga after I finished up season 4 part 1, but then I was like, you know what? If season 4 part 2 premieres in January, I'm just gonna hold off on reading the manga. And sure enough, it premieres in January. So I'm like, all right, there we go. Oh, Epsilon, I love the first season of JoJo. People sleep on that. How would they even do a Kingdom Hearts anime? The lore is all over the place now. Well, you know, Kermit, I've toiled with the idea of some type of a Kingdom Hearts anime, and I think it can work if you... It would have to be non-canon. It would have to be non-canon because what you need to do is create some semblance of a coherent story. And I know if you get a whiteboard out and you get some markers and silly string and you connect all the pieces together, there is a story in Kingdom Hearts, but it's way too convoluted for the average general person to understand. I maintain that. I know some fans will be like, yeah, it's great, but come on now. There's more people ridiculing the storytelling of Kingdom Hearts than there are people who love it. It's just a fact, and I accept it as a big Kingdom Hearts fan. So I would take it back to basics. I would take it back to basics and tell this story, take the important parts of the story and how they work in Kingdom Hearts and go from there. Honestly, I think the story of Kingdom Hearts started getting really fucking convoluted around the Dream Drop Distance / Kingdom Hearts like backdoor cover thing that they did. I was like, all right, y'all are just doing too much now. Way too much. But if you could bring it back to home base, make it very coherent for people to understand. Also, one thing I would do if we are going to be telling the same characters like Sora, Riku, and Kairi, I would give those characters a hell of a lot more development. Like Sora, I would not make him just this blanket, you know, blanket good guy for the sake of being good and blah, blah, blah. I would add some complexities and dimensions to Sora's character. Riku, his story is already perfect. I love it. Leave him alone. Kairi, same thing. I would do a lot more with Kairi. I'd make her an actual character before you, spoiler alert, kill her in Kingdom Hearts 3. Not really, but anyone who's played it knows what I'm talking about. So yeah, like I would definitely focus a lot more on the characters and basically, if there was one thing a Kingdom Hearts fan would like in a Kingdom Hearts anime, it's just more depth and complexities to the main characters. Like that Disney shit is going to stay that Disney shit because of rights and everything, but adding more complexities to the unique characters in the world and make it less about, you know, heart darkness and this was all part of my plan and blah, blah, blah. Like I would definitely do a lot with Terra, Ven, and Aqua. I would go back and change some of the things about their characterizations to make it work. There's a lot I would do, but we're just getting into like big picture stuff and everything. Yeah, around Dream Drop Distance is when I was like, oh my god, my mind is blown. I love it. And then when I took a step back, I was like, wait a minute. What? But I still love it. Kingdom Hearts is one of those series for me where I will trash it any day of the week, but I love it. I don't think it's a complex relationship because I know what my relationship with Kingdom Hearts is. It's just one of those series I love to ridicule, but at the same time, Kingdom Hearts 2 is my comfort game. I will put on Kingdom Hearts 2 any day of the week and run through that, man. It's such a good game. Alrighty. Oh, we got a couple of super chats coming in. Appreciate you guys. We have $6.99 coming in from Colin, my boy. What is the first movie you can really remember seeing in theaters? For me, it's Finding Nemo. I fondly remember growing up during Pixar's golden age. You know what the funny thing is? I was just talking about this with my sister, like, not even 2 weeks ago. The first movie that I consciously remember going to the theaters for, it was two, actually, right? Mulan and a Jurassic Park movie. Now, I don't know if this was Jurassic Park 3 or it was the first Jurassic Park and they re-released it in theaters. But I remember being under 10 years old and going to see a Jurassic Park movie with my uncle at one of the old theaters here in Yonkers. I don't remember which Jurassic Park was, but I know it wasn't the last one. It might have been the second. When did the second Jurassic Park come out? Hold on. Why is my flashlight on? Jurassic Park. Okay. All right. You know what? It was Lost World. It was the second Jurassic Park movie because that came out in 97. So I was 4 years old at that time. I don't know why a 4-year-old is watching Jurassic Park, but this is the world we live in. This is how I aged. So yeah, the first movie I remember seeing was Jurassic Park. And then the first movie I can actually remember being in the theater and watching the visuals was Mulan. So Mulan was 1999. I was like 6 years old. And I think I saw Anastasia around that time too. Shout out to Anastasia. That was a great fucking movie. So yeah, those movies. What was the first Pixar movie I saw in theaters? Oh, I think the first one I saw was Monsters, Inc. Obviously I didn't see Toy Story 2. I was like 2 years old. Didn't see the second one. So yeah, the first one was Monsters, Inc. But I did buy them on VHS. Well, me, the 5-year-old, bought them. My parents did buy them on VHS for me. So the first VHS I owned of a Pixar movie was A Bug's Life. And do you guys remember? Oh, this is how Disney was in their bag with this. Do you remember when they used to release special edition variants of their VHSs with different characters on it? I remember they did this for A Bug's Life. I remember going into the Costco and they had this whole display which had Bug's Life on VHS, and there was one with Flick. There was one with I think her name was Anna. She was like the purple Ann, and all the other characters. And I was so excited to get that, man. Damn, we just unlocked a memory right now. Holy shit, guys. Holy shit. But what about you guys? What was like your first like conscious experience going to see a movie? Consciously? Are you saying you were taken unconsciously? No, Bella, I'm not saying that. There was no child abductions. But it's something that I actually can remember fondly going to. Like with Jurassic Park, I remember my uncle taking me in the car and me walking into the theater. But then other than that, it's kind of hazy. All I know is we were watching Jurassic Park because that's what the ticket said. And then Mulan was like, oh, okay, now I can see all the colors and stuff. Oh, I'm seeing some good ones right here. Someone says, The Grudge. Oh my God. Spider-Man 1. Oh, that must have been amazing to see the first Spider-Man movie as your first. Wow. Dude, that is awesome. Oh my God. By that point, I was like really cognizant of movies, not conscious, Bella, cognizant. So, you know, when I saw like Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2, I was like, oh, this is great, man. But wow, for that to be the first one, that thing probably blew your mind, man. Oh, damn. He said the first movie he saw was Star Wars Episode 1. Ouch. But then again, that is like a lot of people's first movies, you know. But damn, you just sitting there listening to like galactic politics for 2 hours. Alrighty. $5 from Blue Senshi 19. I upgraded my TCL Smart TV to a curved Samsung Smart TV. Big difference. Also, still haven't finished Persona 3. Hopefully, it gets a port to PC soon. Oh, don't tell King David that, because you know King David is the biggest stan of them TCL TVs. You know, don't let him fool you. Don't let him fool you. King has the biggest stock in TCLs. But yeah, man. I'm gonna be upgrading my TV here soon. I'm not gonna say when, but it is happening very, very soon. I'm just waiting for it to get back in stock. But yeah, I'll be upgrading to a nice OLED panel. That'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, there've been a lot of rumors about Persona 3 potentially getting some type of like remaster or remake, according to that anniversary leak that happened. I would love to see it sometime this year, but then again, this is Atlas, you know, like we're still wishing. Bro, Persona 4 came out on PC like 2 years ago, and they still haven't ported it to consoles. I don't know what that company is doing, but we're gonna get the dancing games ported. Oh yeah, that's what the streets want. Yay. $4.99 from Corey Gryffindor. I was driving, but Happy New Year, Mayo Eater. Picked me up some Stromboli. Shout out to you, Corey Gryffindor. It's good to see you, my man. And yeah, man, of course, you know, you gotta start out the new year eating some nice organic mayonnaise. It's good, man. What did I have? I had like an egg salad sandwich a few days ago. That's some nice mayo on it. Nice Chipotle mayo on it. Oof, that shit was good. We have $5 coming in from Oldo23. Wishing the best for your channel in 2022. You do a great job, Neo. Oh, thank you so much for that, brother or sister, or whatever you choose to identify as. Thank you so much. Yeah, there's gonna be some good stuff coming in for the channel. Like I said, tomorrow we've got another stream, and then we've got the first podcast episode going up, and then, you know, just other content. I'm trying to be consistent to do like a video a week. I think I can hold myself to that versus like multiple videos at a time and then streets go dark, you know. But wishing all the best for everybody in general who's a content creator, you know. $2 from Flame. Just saying, y'all need to watch Arcane and Encanto. Yes, I did watch Encanto. I watched a lot of movies. Encanto, Tick Tick Boom when I was sick, and dude, I love them. They were like 2 music movies back to back, and so good, man. They both hit me with like different levels of feels, right? Tick Tick Boom, I really gravitated towards because it's something I'm going through right now as a person who's in his late 20s, about to be 30. A lot of the things happening in that resonated with me. And then the same thing for Encanto in terms of like finding your place in the world, living up to expectations. And is it healthy to live up to expectations? And is it really your fault if you don't live up to those expectations? Very, very good stuff. I highly recommend y'all check out Tick Tick Boom and Encanto if you haven't seen them. Encanto's on Disney Plus and Tick Tick Boom is on Netflix. Oh, and the music was so good. Both of them were done by the incredible Lin-Manuel Miranda. I thought I was gonna get into a tongue twister, Lin-Manuel Miranda, but I'm good. I'm good. All right. Yeah. So you know, I might as well just tackle this right now since folks have been asking. Oh, let me get some new music going. I don't know why I didn't. Hold on. Usually I have this going on repeat, but you know, it's, I guess because I haven't done it in 3 weeks, it's just like, what happened? What are we doing? But yeah, so for those wondering, yes, I did watch Spider-Man No Way Home. I actually saw it opening night, which opening night for me was Thursday afternoon. I caught the earliest showing that I can at 3 p.m. And man, I got some thoughts on this, right? So can we spoil the movie? It's been almost a month. Who hasn't seen Spider-Man No Way Home at this point, right? Unless you live in like Japan or some places where they didn't get the movie. Can we talk spoilers? Can we talk spoilers? I want to talk spoilers. I know everyone's probably gonna be like, yes, it's fine. Let's talk spoilers. Yeah, Corey Griffin was like, I saw it 3 times. I haven't seen it. All right, okay, I will say this. All right, for those who have yet to see Spider-Man No Way Home, right? We are going to be discussing spoilers right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about this movie for the next 5 minutes. It is currently 6:57 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Y'all work out your time zones. At 7:02 Eastern Standard Time, which is in 5 minutes, I will stop talking spoilers, right? So you can mute the stream if you wanted to have it up here. I'll do something crazy with my hands like this, just so y'all know it's spoiler time, or someone in the chat would be like, hey, we're done talking about spoilers. Okay, so let's talk about Spider-Man No Way Home. Okay, so I'm sure as many of y'all know, I've been rather critical of the MCU incarnation of Spider-Man. I mean, it's not that I dislike Tom Holland as an actor. I think Tom Holland's fantastic. I really like him as Peter Parker. But for whatever reason, they've kept the training wheels on this dude for years. I remember coming out of Spider-Man Homecoming and I was like, okay, this is great. This dude is finally getting on his own. He's not going to be an Iron Man shadow. And it just seemed like for the next couple of movies and appearances, it's just the same thing. Like, this dude is not Spider-Man. He's literally just Iron Boy Jr. And I used to clown people who said that because I'm like, okay, now you guys are just getting out of control, blah, blah, blah. It's like, whatever. He's an Iron Man fanboy. So, yeah, of course he likes Iron Man. But by the time I saw Spider-Man Far From Home, and the fact that I had gotten about like 60% of that movie and I just wasn't entertained, I knew something was wrong. So going into this new Spider-Man movie, I had really low expectations. Even though I was excited about the prospect of a multiverse and everything, I couldn't. Oh, damn, I just realized that it's probably going to be more than 5 minutes. Holy fuck. We'll see. We'll see how far we go. So going into this movie, I was kind of worried that, all right, you know, is this going to be the movie where he finally becomes Spider-Man, or is he still going to be training wheels? Like, we never saw the Spider-Man from Tom Holland. And the thing that a lot of people forget about Spider-Man is not, he's a kid in terms of like, yeah, he's 15, 16, 17 years old, but it's not reflected when he is Spider-Man. The reason why Spider-Man is so relatable is because it's a kid who had this responsibility thrust upon him and he had to grow up. And the reason why Peter Parker is so relatable, because a lot of people are put in those situations where for whatever reason, life throws us multiple curveballs and we just got to step up and just keep fighting back. Right? And that's why he's not Spider Boy, he's not Spider Kid, he's not Spider Teen, he's Spider-Man. We saw that with Tobey Maguire, we saw that with Andrew Garfield, we did not see that with Tom Holland at all. It just felt like he's babysat by other people, whether it's Iron Man in this movie, whether it's Nick Fury in that movie, that's what it seemed like. So for me, the third movie was the final straw for them to get this right. At that point, I'm just like, all right, I'm going to write off all the MCU Spider-Man movies just like as a Spider-Man fan. I'll focus on the Insomniac game if I want to get a good depiction of Spider-Man. But then I saw Spider-Man No Way Home and I was like, thank God, because they finally put the man in Spider-Man. This dude, and I think it's kind of tongue-in-cheek the way they did it. Tom Holland's Spider-Man in this movie has gone through the worst shit I think any Spider-Man has ever gone through. And it is kind of depressing in the sense that, you know, by the end of the movie, you find out that this dude is now all alone. There's no one in this world who knows he exists. He lost his aunt. He lost his best friend. He lost his girlfriend. He's literally all alone. But at the same time, it kind of makes sense because this Spider-Man, who had not learned responsibility for whatever reason in these past like 5 years, he needed something to just like kick him in the ass. And it sucks that it had to be at the cost of everything around him. But you know what? When you're living a really carefree life as a Spider-Man and you don't know the concept of responsibilities, like I'll touch on this more when I do an actual video. It seems like this Spider-Man did not have an Uncle Ben, because Uncle Ben has always been that constant in Spider-Man's life, where whatever incarnation it is, where Uncle Ben is the person. And it's not because he gives the great power comes great responsibility speech. It's not that. It's more than that. It's the fact that Peter could have prevented his death if he weren't acting a certain way. And that is something he'll never be able to forgive himself. And what I love is that the two Spider-Men, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, were the ones to tell him that. Like, this life is not an easy one. Regardless of what you do, someone is going to get hurt. And that's just what you got to live with. So while it sucks that this ending is extremely depressing, I'm excited because he finally learned that lesson. Finally. Like, yeah, it took Iron Man dying, going up against Thanos, and all this other shit happening. You know, losing Aunt May to teach him like, hey, listen, come on now. This is the superhero gig. It's literally what we do. But I'm happy. As a Spider-Man fan, I'm happy and I'm excited to see where this goes in the future. Getting into like the college trilogy of movies. Maybe down the road, they might introduce a Miles Morales. I'm excited. But most importantly, I'm happy that they finally understand Spider-Man again, because I know a lot of people like to say, well, this was their idea from the beginning. They were going to tell one origin story over 3 movies. But the way they were pitching it in the beginning was, we're not doing the origin story. But they ended up doing an origin story about responsibility for 3 movies, which is, it's just asinine in my opinion. But yeah, there was a couple of other things that I really liked in the film. The return of all the characters from the different universes. Again, I'll touch more on this in the video because I know like I'm over the 1 minute for the spoiler thing. But like all the other villains, seeing them was cool and everything. But the one standout, and y'all already know this. You saw the movie. Willem fucking Dafoe as the Green Goblin. Now here's the thing. Like I said, I'm very critical of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies just because they hammed things up way too much. I know a lot of people like to say, well, it's a nod to the Silver Age of comics. All right, I get it, but we're in the 2000s now. Like, come on now. And the thing about Green Goblin as Spider-Man's villain is that a lot of his best stories people don't know anything about, and that's the saddest part about it. The Green Goblin is nowhere near as terrifying as Norman Osborn. And when you get a character like Willem Dafoe, who's able to portray that, and then you have him giving Saturday morning cartoon villain energy, to me, that doesn't mesh well. So going into No Way Home, when I hear Willem Dafoe talking about this was a good opportunity for us to take the criticism into account and actually add some stakes. And when I heard that, I was like, okay, I'm a little excited. But what they did with this character in the movie, bro, there's this scene in the film at the condo, and this is arguably the best use of the spider sense I've ever seen, where Peter is in the condo and he senses that something is wrong. And the way they play out the scene, you don't know exactly what's happening, but you know something's up. And he's looking all around the condo. Everyone's a little scared, like, what's happening, Peter? What is it? You know, and all the villains are kind of getting shaky, like, what's he about to do? And then Peter takes a deep breath, and then he shoots his web, and then you see the hand, and it's Norman Osborn. But then Norman Osborn is like, that's some neat trick, that sense of yours. Dude. Everything from that point on to the rest of the movie was fucking insane, man. That entire fight scene, the energy he was giving off, just completely unhinged. And this dude, like, yo, I think this dude Norman Osborn been watching a lot of WWE because some of the moves that he was doing in that movie were fucking crazy, man. But dude, it's like if you ever needed a villain that could mess a character's life up, you call up Willem Dafoe to do the Green Goblin, because that's exactly what he did. Every other villain in the movie was cool, but Willem Dafoe is the menace to society. And there's this one scene in the film that literally, it stays in my head rent-free. It's when they're fighting in the condo, and you know, Tom Holland, he does the wall jump, he jumps on him, and he's starting to like punch him from above, and then Green Goblin's just looking at him and smiling and just taking all the hits, and he's just laughing. He's just laughing, and I'm like, that is Green Goblin right then and there. And dude, every scene he's in, he steals the show. Like right before he kills Aunt May, when he jumps on the glider and he's like, Peter, 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 no good deed goes unpunished. Like, bro, I would watch a whole movie with this goblin. And another thing I liked was they got rid of the mask and everything, which I know a lot of people love the mask. I didn't like the mask because when you have someone that looks like Willem Dafoe, like that's all you need. When he goes up there and you just see his face and he's got the hood on so it looks like the Goblin from the comics, I'm like, bro, it's so good, man. It's so good. But yeah, I'll touch more on this in like the spoiler talk. You know, seeing this will be the last point. I know people are like, you said 5 minutes. I'm sorry, I run on color people time. But seeing the Spider-Man come back, it was unreal. Like I couldn't believe that I was watching that unfold. Cause like, what are the logistics of this actually happening? What are the logistics of them actually listening to what we were saying? Like, we just want a Spider-Man movie with all 3 of them, and they actually did it. And they leaned into the memes very heavy, for better or for worse. Like sometimes it was just so obvious. They might as well have just looked at the camera and been like, and then twinkle twinkle. But the best parts of this movie were unironically, because it's obvious, was the Spider-Man talking with each other, whether it was banter or whether they were getting into really emotional stuff. Like when they had the whole conversation on the roof And Tobey Maguire was talking about, you know, the night I hunted down who I thought was Uncle Ben's killer, you know, I got what I wanted. It didn't make me feel better. And then Andrew was talking about how he lost Gwen. And dude, Andrew Garfield stole, like, I'm telling you, people are now noticing why Andrew Garfield is the best Spider-Man. He might not have been in the best movies, but he's the best Spider-Man, the best actor out of any of them. Like, every time he was on scene, it was like, oh my God, what am I watching? But dude, everything that they talked about, like when Toby and Andrew were just discussing, because, you know, Toby noticed Andrew was, you know, getting emotional when he saw Peter and MJ. He was like, you know, you got a girl? And he's like, no, I don't got time for Peter Parker stuff. And then Toby's like, you know, I got someone, you know, it's complicated though, but we made it work. And it makes me feel sad because I want to see what happened to Toby after Spider-Man 3. I want to see what happened to Andrew after Amazing Spider-Man 2. I want more movies with these guys. Like, their stories are not done, and I need to see at least one more film. I need it. I fucking need it, bro. But yeah, it's just like, if there's one thing that this movie did very well, it made me miss Toby and Andrew even more. Like, I'm excited for new stories with Tom, but I want to see Andrew. I want to see Toby. Like, it's just, oh man, but that's it. I'll touch more on this later. Man. Oh God. It's always good talking about Spider-Man. It gets you excited. Oh, bro. But yeah, I see a lot of people in the chat. What's up, TJ Homecoming? What's up, Adrian? How you doing, bro? What's up? I freaking cracked my knuckles. I cracked my knuckles like without doing it like the standard way. I was like hitting it like this, and now I feel a little bruised. When is Neo getting cast as Miles? I don't think so, man. I don't think they want a 6'4" Spider-Man, bro. That would look so weird because Andrew was the tallest Spider-Man. I think he's 5'10", and then he got Toby and then Tom, and then they'd just be like me and my tall ass like right there. Nah, they're gonna get like a 5'7", 5'8" Miles Morales. I ain't gonna front though. I'll play like an alternate reality version of Miles. I do that. If we lean into the multiverse, I'll be like, yeah, I'm Miles from a different universe. Like, fuck it, why not? What would you like for them to do in the next Spider-Man movie? Yeah, so if we're just keeping it home base with Tom Holland, I want his next Spider-Man movie to be very low-key. Extremely low-key. We've established a Spider-Man where people don't know his identity, and he's able to do Peter Parker shit by himself. I want this movie to be very low-key. I want them to introduce a villain, and I want this to be a very personal story. I don't need anything else. I don't need an Avengers level threat. I don't need the multiverse to be included. I just want this to be a story about Spider-Man doing Spider-Man shit. Whatever villain they want to use. I know they've been talking about doing Kraven. In fact, they wanted to do Kraven for the third movie before, you know, this is like when Sony and Marvel broke up and then they got back together. But I would love a very personal Spider-Man story. But the sad thing is, it's because Sony on they bullshit, and like they've already ruined Venom. They're ruining Morbius. We already know that. And then Kraven, they're doing their own thing there. It's just, I don't know. We'd have to dig deep into the barrel to do like different Spider-Man stuff. And that's what kills me, because they're not going to do Green Goblin and Doc Ock. Like, they're not going to do new incarnations because they just showed them off in the multiverse. So I don't know, maybe we might do like different Spider-Man villains, like very like obscure Spider-Man villains, like Big Wheel or Paste Pot Pete. Anyone who's a big Spider-Man fan in the lore, y'all know who Paste Pot Pete is. We might do some different stuff, but I just want it low key, man. Maybe you can introduce other characters. Maybe you can finally introduce the Osborns into the MCU. I know we just had Willem Dafoe, but I would actually love to see them take another stab at Harry and Peter's relationship dynamic. I know they've already done it in the other two series, but it's very core to the Spider-Man world. Maybe actually doing a Gwen Stacy. Maybe introduce Black Cat. Honestly, you know what? Okay, just for the sake of not feeling too samey, they should introduce Black Cat in the next movie. Be like a nice dynamic between Peter and Felicia. I could definitely see that. Chameleon is an excellent choice, Epsilon. That would be great. A Hobgoblin movie would slap for spoiler reasons. I don't want them to really do anything, because I know a lot of people are saying, well, you know, now that Ned doesn't know who Peter is, you could do Hobgoblin story and create this rift and dynamic. But to me, it's like it could very easily end up being CW territory of cringe. I just want their relationships to stay as is. And maybe down the road, if MJ figures out who Peter Parker is again, I think that'd be beautiful. But I don't need like this civil war and then Ned ends up dying. I don't need that. Like we've already went through enough suffering with that the first time around. So I just want it to be very chill and low key. Black Cat and Silver Sable, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. But they're apparently trying to do that over at Sony, which, like I said, I just yeah, maybe the symbiote. They did leave that little black goop in the post-credit scene, so we could end up getting a black suit movie. That would be nice because this Spider-Man is very emotional now that he's lost everything, so we could see that. Maybe you do a whole movie where it's just the black suit. You don't do Venom. Maybe you tease this version of Venom, this universe's Venom. You could use that as an opportunity to introduce an actual Eddie Brock. But the problem is, I don't think they really want to lean too heavily into different incarnations of the same characters, because then people ask questions like, why is this here? I thought this actor was playing that. And the whole multiverse thing, I think, can only go so far. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a fan of this whole weird thing they did with Venom. It's the character of Venom. I grew up reading Venom comics where Venom was like a serious antagonist to Spider-Man. And the story of Eddie Brock before he got that symbiote was fantastic. And then now we've just, like, Venom, you can't really take seriously. It's just a joke. And Eddie Brock being played by Tom Hardy, ugh. I'll say this though, when y'all see what Insomniac's about to do with Venom in their game, you're gonna see why people hate the Venom movie, because that's the type of Venom we should see. A Venom voiced by Tony Todd. I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying you can't enjoy stuff. You can enjoy the Venom movie, but when you actually know what Venom is and you see it for what it is, you're like, oh, maybe we shouldn't accept this. Like Carnage, for example. I just really hate Sony. I just really hate Sony when they try to do this shit. It's like, bro, stop it. Yeah, honestly, Adrian, I think what they need to do is they need to take at least like 2 movies to reestablish the relationship between Peter and his friends. Because if you go back and introduce them in the next movie, it's not gonna feel, it's gonna feel so awkward. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, will they tease the fact that they remember it or will they not? Like, we need time to grow with these characters again. But yeah, okay, you know what? We're gonna save all this stuff for another time because I know some people are like, this is well over the spoiler tag. So yeah, for those who are watching this, we're done talking about spoilers. I'm sure someone in the chat will be like, spoiler discussion is over, and let's get back to let's just get back to like regular non-spoilery stuff. Fear no hate. I could sit here and talk about Andrew's redemption for like 6 hours. So I'm gonna save that for the actual video because I have a lot to say about that scene. I have a lot to say. Like I said, I can sit and talk about this shit for a long time, but you know. Anyways, let's get back to what we were talking about before, which was, what were we talking about before Spider-Man? Oh yeah. Gaming wise, what I've been playing over the past couple weeks. So yeah, since I was posted up in bed dealing with the Omicron, I did manage to get a lot of gaming in when I felt up to it. I've just been going through and just completing a lot of stuff from last year that I had like 75% plus completion and just finally wrapped it up. And then at the same time, considering January is a very dry month in gaming, I actually went back and I started a brand new playthrough of The Witcher 3. Now, I know people are probably going to be like, another playthrough? This is like, what, your 4th? Yes. This is my 4th playthrough of The Witcher 3. Played it on PC, played it on PlayStation, played it on Switch. Now I'm playing it on Xbox. The Witcher 3 is like a damn near perfect game for me, man. It's just so easy to fall back into. So, I started playing through that last week, and I've already got like 20 something hours into the game, bro. In just like 3 days, man. That shit was crazy. And then I had to take a little bit of a break because I was like, oof, let me calm down. But yeah, I've been going through The Witcher 3. The next gen patch is not going to be out for a couple of months. I know they said it's like Q2, so the earliest we could see it is like spring, summer. But the benefit, if you're playing it on Xbox Series X, I'm not sure about PlayStation 5, but on the Series X, it's 60 frames per second at, I think, like a dynamic 4K resolution, which to me, that is more than playable, man. Because one of the things about, you know, going back and playing old games is that if it's sub 1080p, it's kind of hard to get through, even if it's 60 frames. Like, I need the nice resolution on top of that. So the fact that Witcher 3 looks really crispy and is really fluid, that's all good with me. So I'm probably going to have that game and all its DLC finished by the time, hopefully by the time Horizon comes out, because The Witcher 3 is really the only like meaty game I'm playing. I'm going through some other smaller stuff. Like I just finished up for the first time ever Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4. I know that game's been out for years. I didn't care to play it because, you know, I'm not really into anime games like I used to be. But I did buy it I bought it last year with all the other Storm games on Xbox for like $12. And I was like, yeah, I'll go through Storm 4. Finished up the campaign. Oh, man, when you talk about fumbling the bag, bro, like the ending of that game is good, but everything else, they cheapen that out, bro. It's like the 99-cent version of Storm with the way they did the cutscenes, man. The combat is fantastic, though. It's like the best in the series. But I finished that one up, so that's the first game in 2022. And then I'm going through, when I'm not playing The Witcher, I'm going through like Life is Strange True Colors. That's something I want to finish up soon because it's like 10 hours. Same thing for Sonic Colors Ultimate. I wanted to go through that because, hey, I loved Sonic Colors when it first came out. And then I started, what's this visual novel game? I think it's called The Somnium Files. I believe that's what the title is. I just started that not too long ago. I think it's like around 20 something hours or so. I mean, I'm a big fan of things like Danganronpa. So, you know, it's coming from the same developer. They know how to do visual novels. So I'm on board with that. I heard it's like a really good underrated gem. And yeah, you know, I'm just like games that are very, very doable. Like 20 hours is not too long. You know, 10 hours for Life is Strange is like not too long. Very doable games. And the only long game I'm playing is The Witcher 3. So I'm not starting any other grandiose RPGs around that time. But what y'all been up to? Let's see. Oh, Adrian says, been playing Metroid, shit slaps. Yeah, bro, Metroid is on my list. I still have it. I still have it in the packaging. You know, you had to buy to support. But I haven't really been in the mood to touch my Switch like that. It's weird, man. I don't know. You know, I guess I'm just kind of spoiled by the newer machines. I don't know. When that Switch Pro drops in the next 40 years, oh yeah, that's when I'm going back. But I'm definitely gonna touch Metroid. That sounds so weird. I'm gonna touch Metroid. I'll touch Samus. I'll tell you that much. Yo, Neo, I gotta thank you for putting me on to Death's Door. I've been listening to the OST for the past few weeks. Yeah, man. If y'all haven't played Death's Door, definitely go ahead and do that. It's without question one of my favorite games from 2021, and it's so cheap, man. It's like what, like under $20? Such a good game. It's got great music, great gameplay, great game design, and I think it's only made by, how many people made that game? Like 2, 3 people, 10 people, 12 people. It's a small amount of people, but it's really fun, man. It's really fun. Who would you like to see play Black Cat? Honestly, I kind of don't really have any idea of who I'd want to play Marvel characters because their casting director, Sarah Finn Haley, I believe that's what her name is. She's fantastic. Like, she does not miss with her casting. So it could be anybody, but if I had to cast it right now, based off the actors I've seen, Anya Taylor-Joy, period. That's the shoot for the stars casting list. Anya Taylor-Joy. But honestly, it could be an unknown for all we know, and they could crush it, you know? As you can see, like, it's still hard to get back to talking as usual after dealing with the Omicron, bro. Well, it's kind of like a it's kind of like a visual novel of sorts. You know, there's just a lot of reading. There's little interaction that you do, like you go and you hit things on the screen to activate it, and you just listen to stuff. So that's why I always classify those things as visual novels because there's very little gameplay that you do. Where's your Gucci Xbox at, bro? I ain't got no Gucci Xbox. People always think that every single time Xbox reveals something, it's like, Neo got that shit in his closet, bro. I'm like, nah, fam. I get a Series X one time. But nah, I ain't got that Gucci Xbox, bro. That should be funny as hell, though. A Gucci-fied Xbox console. I wonder what the resale value on that thing is like. Oh, Havoc just got home, Bella? Hey, he's probably gonna be on here. He's gonna be like, yo, what up, what up, what up? He'll be like, yo, what has Neo been talking about? Yeah, I gotta get back to playing games with Havoc and Rhino. It's been a minute, because, you know, I was dealing with COVID, and then, you know, Havoc was working a lot. Havoc was working like crazy, and then Rhino was working like crazy. It's just the end of the year is just so busy, man. But we about to get back into this game and stuff, bro. I have not played Halo in like a month, you guys. I'm talking the multiplayer. I haven't played the multiplayer in a month. I think it was around the time right before the Slayer playlist dropped. That's when I stopped playing Halo, because I wasn't a fan of the way they were handling the progression. You know what I'm saying? Like, Halo is always going to be fun to play. Always, without question. But the way they just handled the progression and some of the other things in the multiplayer, I didn't feel like I was getting much out of my time playing it. But they're doing the updates that need to be done, which is very, very important. So I'll probably jump back in. Neo, you need to play Catherine full body. I need to. I played the original Catherine. I think it's a really good game, but I haven't played full body yet. It always goes on sale for like $15, $10. So at some point when I have a dry spell, I'll go and play it. Yeah, Fear No Hate. That's honestly where I got the idea from, because I was thinking about Black Cat, and then sure enough, I think that Shine account on Twitter posted Sony's potentially looking at Anya Taylor-Joy, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, well, she's probably the most popular actress of her age in that time frame who would look similar enough to believability with Tom Holland, you know, because that's what it all comes down to. You can't cast somebody like you can't cast a baddie as Black Cat and then put it next to like Tom Holland. You know, it looks so weird. It's got to be somewhat uniform. Hey Neil, where'd you get that awesome sweatshirt? Oh, so this is Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda, aka the child, aka Grogu. This is a hoodie that my brother got me for Christmas back in 2020. And dude, the thing I love about officially licensed merch that's got a little bit of quality to it is that they feel so comfortable, man. I'm not talking about no Hot Topic shit or Spencer's. I'm talking about like legit. I don't know where he got this from, but it's just so comfortable, man. So comfortable, so lightweight. Feels good, bro. It's got the hoodie all around. I like it. Y'all know me. I'm a big Grogu stan. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. Like the past year or so, I've definitely gotten into purchasing a lot of like high quality anime merch. So going on websites that like specialize in high quality clothing that happen to feature anime characters. You know what I'm saying? Like what was that site? Was it Atsuko? I bought a couple things from there, and they're really good. Like really good. Like you put it in the wash and it's not going to fade. You put it in the wash and it's not going to like crinkle, you know? I know. I love it. It's so cool. Oh yeah, bro. What do we got this year? We got Kenobi, Obi-Wan Kenobi coming out this year. I don't know. Have they set dates for anything else? Like, because I know they're doing Obi-Wan Kenobi, they're doing Ahsoka, they're doing a Lando TV show. There's that Acolyte thing. Well, I don't know how far Acolyte is in development. What else? Well, they canceled Rangers of Republic because of the whole Gina Carano thing. Talk about fumbling the bag. And the Taika Waititi Star Wars movie I know is a few years out. And then you got the Kevin Feige Star Wars thing, which I don't even know when that's gonna happen. Hey, video game lover. I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good. Just you know, dealing with the aftermath of this Omicron. And there's, like I said, there's still some of the lingering symptoms that you get. What is the most New York thing you saw in the city before? Honest to God, the most New York thing was seeing a rat the size of a cat eating pizza. I'm not even joking. I'm not even trying to make it like a funny, like, you're joking for the memes. Like, no. Like, actually seeing a rat that was the size of a cat eating pizza. Straight up. It's like Shredder. It's not like Shredder. Fucking. It's Splinter from Ninja Turtles. But what else is that? You also, I mean, you see some wild shit when you in the city, bro. Like nothing really surprises you if you grow up around New York City. $5 super chat from the homie GC Plugs. Thank you, bro. What do you recommend for staying awake? I'm trying to put down these Red Bulls, but my schedule is killing me. I'm trying to go for something healthy. Yeah, so as far as like staying awake, I mean, obviously the most important thing is you need to get adequate rest all throughout the week. So if you have a situation where you have to be up for a long period of time, like for you when you do your doubles on the weekend, you need to make sure you're getting your quality 8 hours of sleep. In addition to that, diet is very, very important. Making sure you eat a lot of food that is going to fuel your body. So food that is rich in the vitamins and the minerals that you need. Making sure that your body is in some form of an equilibrium. Because what a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of the things that they say, like I'm really tired, or, you know, I don't have motivation, or I have a lot of brain fog, a lot of that can be attributed to your diet. And if you fix up your diet and you make it consistent, it's like one of those things where it's like, oh, wow, I feel so much better. Cutting out a lot of the processed stuff, you know, a lot of the sugary stuff, and looking for better alternatives. So like getting your sleep in order, getting your nutrition in order, working out. But if you're looking like for natural forms of caffeine, green tea is really good. I love green tea. If you make like smoothies, putting in some cacao powder is great. MCT oil is a great form of energy. It comes from coconuts, but you got to be careful in the beginning because MCT oil is, I call it like the world's best laxative, because if you start MCT oil, it goes through your body and it can clear you out very, very quickly. But it's great, like once your body gets accustomed to it, for sustained energy throughout long periods of time. So yeah, like green tea, MCT oil, stuff like that. Leave Splinter alone. He ain't bugging you. Hey, Corey, I leave him alone, bro. I let him mind his business. I know he is just a man trying to provide for his family. Straight up. Hey, Rafi Grant, what's going on, man? Smoking sativa. Yeah, Playboy is right. When you smoke that sativa, that should keep you up for an extra like 3-4 hours. But yeah, like it's just it's a combination of a lot of things in your life that you have to make tweaks, adjustments, or just remove entirely. You know, it's not just like one be all end all thing. Oh, Adrian brought up a good point. No blue light before bed. Yeah, that's another thing. So one thing that I do, I mean, I have blue light filters in all of my glasses. But one thing I make sure is 2 hours before bed, I make sure that I dim everything in my room to the lowest possible setting and just let my mind get used to that. I don't have any bright lights going on. Like even right now, me having the streaming lights, it's taken my eyes a little while to get used to because I haven't done this in 3 weeks. But making sure that you put your body and your mind in an environment where you can easily fall asleep. And you know, on most phones nowadays, they have these things like vision comfort and blue light blockers, or blue light limiters, where it limits what you see on your smartphone. So if you are one of those people that's replying to comments before bed, or you're just talking to somebody, when you're looking at the screen, it won't have too many harsh lights shining in on you. I don't know if you mentioned in any of their streams, but could I just get he's or no if you liked No Way Home? Oh no, I really enjoyed No Way Home, Rory. I did. I'm gonna do a whole video filled with spoilers. That I'm gonna be honest, y'all, that No Way Home video I do is probably gonna be like 40 minutes long, most likely. So get ready for that. Oh, hey Lamont, what's going on, bro? Good to see you, man. Yeah, that Guardians of the Galaxy game, that was another game I finished up over the holiday, or a little before the holiday. Yeah, dude, definitely Guardians of the Galaxy was my game of the year last year. There was no other game that came close to matching the fun and enjoyment and overall surprise I had playing through that game, man. It was so good. Oh, Bella, you just stare at the ceiling. Oh, Bella does the old-fashioned way. So like when I go to sleep, so like I said, I dim everything in my room to the lowest possible setting. And I'm like one of those people where if I'm really tired, I fall asleep as is. I just sleep, woo, I'm out in like 15 minutes. But most of the time what I do is I either have like a TV show going in the background and I set my TV to shut off within half an hour, or I have like a podcast playing and I fall asleep to that, or like a YouTube video, something that's very chill and people just talking, not too much theatrics happening. So it's like a chill conversation people will be having, and then that usually just takes me out. Julian Harris, what's good, bro? Narukami. Oh god, I gotta do it. Oh, I'm so sorry for anyone listening with headphones. The mic is about to be blown out. Hold on, we gotta do this. Poor Peter Parker. Yo, Lizard was really popping those P's when he said Peter. Peter Parker. Are you into the Azure Striker Gunvolt games, Neo? Yeah, so I believe it's the first 2 games on Switch back when I got it, played through those, really loved them. So good, like especially if you guys are fans of Mega Man, like, and there was a time where we weren't getting any Mega Man games from Capcom. They're really awesome games. I haven't checked out the new one. I'm not even sure if the new one is out yet, but there is a new one coming out soon, right? I don't know. See, this is like, there's just so many games coming out that even the ones I'm excited for, I don't know if they have been delayed. And that's another thing. COVID has pushed back a lot of games, so I don't know. But yeah, I have where's my Switch collection? It's somewhere around here, but yeah, I have the first 2 games. They're great. The Azure Strike Gunvolt Striker Pack. All right, and let me scroll back up because I did miss Leon's super chats. I apologize for that, bro. So Leon sent in a super chat earlier. Dragon Ball Evolution is the best movie ever. Leon, are you on drugs, my friend? But I know he's probably trolling. And then his second one was said, The Eternals is just a cheap ass movie to me. I mean, yeah, Eternals, like I said, is a very divisive movie. Some people love it, some people hate it. I'm indifferent to it. I think it's the most visually striking MCU movie we've gotten, because, you know, they shot a lot of it practically versus green screen. But at the same time, it commits one of the biggest sins I have with movies, being an exposition dump. There was just too much stuff happening in that movie to follow as just one movie. It definitely should have been a TV show. Like, to me, this seems like a nice 10-hour TV show. But given the scale and scope of what they were trying to do with that last act, it probably wouldn't be a TV show. But then again, I don't know, man. With the way Disney Plus is and how much they're spending on these shows, they could have easily done Eternals as a TV show. Easily. Like, each episode is focused to a different Eternal, and everything ties into one another. That's interesting. Some of y'all just fall asleep as is, and some people, they need outside stimuluses. Man, yeah, that's the worst thing when you got neighbors who just acting a fool all the time. I'm like, bro, people trying to sleep. Oh, you weren't really digging Gunvolt on Otaku? Like, for me, like I said, it scratched that itch, and I really enjoyed it for what it was. But you know what the thing is? I'm wondering, like, what's going on with Capcom? Are they doing another Mega Man game? Like, the last one sold really well, and people liked it. It's just like, all right, well, that's it. Because they were like, yo, we did Resident Evil 7. We give y'all Resident Evil 8. We did Devil May Cry 5. We probably working on the next one. Monster Hunter is a big success. Mega Man? I don't even know if that nigga exists. But get hyped for the Netflix show. Yeah, honestly, you guys, if there is one thing, I will say this year, prioritize getting more sleep. I know it's easier said than done, especially when, you know, a lot of us are busy. You know, some people got kids, some people got responsibilities, businesses, and all that stuff. But if you can just get that extra hour or 2 of sleep, maybe fit in a nap in here or there, because trust me, like your body is going to thank you for that extra rest. And if that means not gaming as much, then you got to do what you got to do, man, because health is wealth. But every now and then, we got to have a 4 a.m. gaming session. Y'all know how this is. That was me last week. I stayed up till 4 a.m. playing The Witcher. I was like, damn, I haven't done this in a while. Low-key thinking of getting an Xbox Series S for the bedroom. Got hella GameStop credit. You speaking of GameStop credit, I think I might go ahead and trade in a lot of my PS4 collection, because I have a lot of games there that I just bought because they were cheap. They're still in the packaging. So if I trade them in, I don't care what I get, just to free up some shelf space. Like, it's a lot of like random shit, you know, like just random shit. Like, why do you even have this, bro? So if I get a couple bucks for it, I'm fine with that. So I might just trade in all that stuff when they have like a promotion, like, you know, 50% extra or something. But yeah, to answer your comment, Adrian, about getting a Series S for the bedroom. Dude, I have a Series S and a Series X. I love them both. Obviously, you want to do all your gaming on the Series X, but what the Series S offers in that tiny form factor, it's a perfect secondary machine for another room in a house. Like, I have mine set up downstairs in the living room, so whenever I'm downstairs and I want a change of scenery, I'll play some games on there. I usually leave the Series S down there whenever me and my siblings want to play something. So, like, let's say, for example, we want to do like 4-player split screen of something, or we want to do a co-op game. It's much easier to have it down there and have access to that versus, you know, bringing my Series S downstairs and then upstairs. So it's good, man. You should have today. Oh, man. It was only today? It was only today, Adrian? Oh, fuck. See, I got that Peter Parker luck, man. I missed it by 1 day. And now she's not paying for those pizzas. I feel terrible. Yeah, they gotta go ahead. They gotta go ahead and give us a new Mega Man. We need Devil May Cry 6 up in this bitch. Yeah, obviously eBay is a better route because you can get more. You can know your worth if you deal on eBay. But then it's just the hassle of dealing with eBay versus, you know, just things you just want to get rid of and not have to worry about listing it and waiting for it to be listed and all that. Oh man, Power Stone and Dino Crisis Fear No Hate, but I feel like we're just gonna be saying maybe this will be the generation. Maybe this will be the generation. Oh, snap. All right, everybody wish Bella luck because she just cooked some sea salt brownies and now she's about to find out whether they're raw or not. You got to give us the verdict on this. I want to hear this. All right. Serving him Cheetos. I'm dead. Oh, you know what? I can go, guys. Okay. All right. I need to weed out some people. It's the first week of 2022. I need to weed out some folk. All right. How do y'all like your Cheetos? Puffs or crunchy? Oh, snap. We got 69 likes right now. Nice. And if y'all are enjoying the stream, make sure you hit that like button. It helps out the channel tremendously. Oh, they're cooked. Oh, good job, Bella. I'm proud of you. Tell your dad to send me a photo of that on Twitter. See, I got whole families and stuff now. This is crazy. I love it. I love you guys. This man said neither. Bobby, you don't sit down. I know you're probably sitting down at work right now. Twisted Puffs. Yo, I remember Twisted Puffs. Twisted Puffs were the best of both worlds, man. All right, let's see what we got in here. All right, let's see. All right, so we got Puffs. Crunch. Crunchy. Crunchy. Adrian, the crunchy Cheetos. You know what I'm talking about. I don't know if they're called crunchy, but whatever. You know the type. Loud as a motorbike. All right, I'm seeing some people. All right, I'm seeing it. Damn, it's kind of divided. I'm more of a Doritos guy myself. You know, I'm somewhat of a Doritos enthusiast myself. Oh, who picks Puffs? Oh, okay, that's what you meant. All right, got you. You see, I like Puffs, but nah, you got to have the crunchiness. You got to have the crunchiness. You've got to. Man, I hope Capcom does those games. I hope, bro. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the new year. Also, Puffs. I came in really late. Did y'all already talk about Konami and Square Enix? No, we didn't. In fact, we might as well just touch on those two things. And honestly, guys, I think after we talk about these two topics, I'm going to call it a night. Because, oh man, just these lights, my eyes aren't used to these lights again. And my voice is starting to go, if you couldn't tell. So two things we're going to talk about. Konami and NFTs, Square Enix and NFTs, and then Dark Mando's question right here. So we'll get the NFT stuff out of the way because that shit ain't fun. And the KOTOR stuff is interesting. But yeah, so over the past, bro, it's only been the first week of the year and we already got some fuckery happening in the games industry. So both Konami and Square Enix are getting into the NFT game. Now, with Square Enix, it was more just, we're interested in actively pursuing NFTs, but they haven't said anything concrete. Like, they haven't announced that, like, our next game is going to feature NFTs. But it's the fact that they come out and they say that they're doing this, which means 9 times out of 10 that they've already got this in production, We don't know where and we don't know when, but it's looking like it's going to happen. Because if there's one thing you know about Square Enix, there's one thing. They will chase any trend they can, whether it's monetization, sequelitis, games as a service. If they think they can make money off of it, if they think they're going to make money off of it, they're going to do it. But Konami, on the other hand, Konami's just got, there's no shame in Konami's game. And honestly, as terrible as it sounds, I respect it. I respect it because at least they're very open and honest and not trying to misconstrue things. But at the same time, it's pathetic because they keep using beloved franchises like Castlevania, for example. And now we have Castlevania NFTs. And honestly, I mean, I know there's a lot of people saying, oh, all y'all whining just don't understand NFTs and what these means for the future and blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to get into this discussion. People have talked about it ad nauseum already. But one thing I will say is gamers, as always, if we see shit that we don't like, we just vote with our wallet, whatever it may be. So if you see a game you're looking forward to is really pushing NFTs heavy, then it's on you. If you want to support it, knowing it has these NFTs in it, that's on you. Likewise, if you don't want to support it, even though you're looking forward to it, then by all means. But the thing about gaming, what a lot of people don't understand is that gaming is one of the few industries where we actually hold the power in our hands. We can dictate whether or not these companies stay afloat. Well, we used to have that power until, you know, gaming became so mainstream that the monetization practices are just the norm now. Like, do you guys remember there was a time where if you wanted to buy used games, you had to buy this $10 online pass? Yeah, like there were some used games out there where you couldn't even access the multiplayer or single player content if you didn't buy a $10 access code. It was crazy, but that was a time in gaming. And it's wild how now monetization has run rampant to the point where, you know, games are being designed around it. Now, listen, I get it. All devs got to eat. They got to get paid. Shit is expensive. I understand that. But when you take the experience of gaming and you make it that much more grindy, you make it that much more tedious, which promotes and it prompts people to invest money in this digital currency just to make their experience more palatable. I don't know. And I feel like people know this, but at the same time, they just don't. They complain about it, but then they don't really care. Like the new Assassin's Creed games. There's no reason those games should be like more than 20 hours long. Like all Assassin's Creed games before in the past used to be like a nice, meaty 20-something hour experience. And now you're talking about Assassin's Creed Valhalla is kind of like having a part-time job. I don't care like how much content is in a game. Unless it's an MMO, there's no reason some of those games need to arbitrarily inflate the length of their games with meaningless stuff and then sell you things. It's like they inflict the wound and then they sell you the cure. We're seeing that happen with a lot of games. And NFTs is just, it's another example of that. Whether you care about it or not, because I know there's a lot of NFT bros out there saying, oh, y'all don't understand. This is all about digital ownership. Okay, y'all always say people don't understand until it blows up in its face. But yeah, for me, I don't care much for NFTs. Like, I'm not going to sit here and complain about it constantly. I'm just going to vote with my wallet. That's all it is. That's all we can do. Let's see. And yeah, so for the final topic of the night, we're going to discuss the recent rumor that started yesterday, in fact, in regards to the upcoming Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake. So a little bit of context for those who don't know. Aspyr Media is the developer behind this from the ground up remake of arguably the greatest Star Wars game in existence, that being Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. All right. And, you know, it's been a while since they've announced it. We haven't seen anything in the ways of gameplay, and they've just been drip feeding us information like, oh, this is the writer of the game, this is this, that, and the third, whatever, these are the platforms, that's it. But there's a rumor circulating that KOTOR's combat in this new game is going to be more action focused, and the buzzwords that they threw around for comparison's sake were similar to God of War or Neo, which those two combat systems are extremely different. I don't know how. if you said something like Neo or Dark Souls, okay, yeah, because that's similar families, right? Similar strains. But God of War and Neo, nah. But let's just humor the idea of the KOTOR gameplay getting revamped. Now, I know there's a lot of purists out there who are like, no, the KOTOR remake is doomed to failure because of them changing things and blah, 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 and all the new battle system. I'm going to be real. If we get a different type of battle system in KOTOR, I am 100% for that. Because let's be honest, the best part about KOTOR was not its combat. It was never its combat. Like, let's be real. Even 5 years after KOTOR came out, the combat in that game was already starting to age very poorly. Now, if you enjoyed the combat, that's all you. I know some people do like the tactical approach that the KOTOR combat offered. But just where we are in gaming right now, there's definitely a lot more room for innovation. And under normal circumstances, I could see this as being a cause for alarm. But then I played the Final Fantasy VII Remake. And I know everyone's got a different opinion on how they feel about the game itself. But one thing I loved was the gameplay, because it was kind of like the best of both worlds. Sure, it wasn't a turn-based JRPG. It was more action-focused. But at the same time, they were able to mix in a lot of the strategic elements of being a turn-based game into it. They had some sections where you slow down the time to select your commands, and then you put that against the enemies, right? I saw that combat system. I played that combat system. I had a blast with that combat system. And I got to thinking, this would be a good combat system for a Star Wars game. At the time I said this, because you can go back and watch the Ask Neo I did like last year. And I said that if they were ever going to do a Star Wars game with an action combat style that's not Jedi Fallen Order, it should be like the FF7 remake, right? Where you can appeal to both demographics. And lo and behold, we see KOTOR is going for a more action route. So I wish that somehow they found a way to just take the best things that worked in the FF7 remake and put that into this new KOTOR game. But I don't know, man. I think it just all depends how it's handled, because they said it's like similar to God of War or Neo, if there's rumors to be believed. I don't know how that's going to work, because God of War's combat is extremely different from Neo. So are you saying it's just more hack and slash based? Is it going to have like a skill tree for your character? I mean, maybe that'll work. But I'll say this much. I would much rather they mix in the strategic elements, because we already have Jedi Fallen Order if we want to scratch the itch of a more action-focused Star Wars game with challenge, you know? But then again, not everybody can play Jedi Fallen Order because they think it's too difficult. So maybe this is the nice, like, everyman type of Star Wars game. Who knows? But the important thing that I care about with KOTOR is the story. The storytelling in that game is still holds up to this day. It's BioWare. It's BioWare on the cusp of hitting their like universal acclaim. What they were able to pull off in that game, the writing, the dialogue between the characters, I want to see that modernized in 2020 whenever this game comes out. That same love, attention to detail with the characters, I need that in this KOTOR game. The combat, listen, just make it fun and enjoyable and you got me. But the story is what matters the most. That's all I can say about that. But yeah, I'll answer a couple of questions beforehand. You can't complain about the length of games with 2 copies of Persona 5. Yeah, but Persona 5 is a long game because it's a JRPG, but it's not a game that's like, oh, we're going to fundamentally change everything about a franchise and make it longer for the sake of being longer and then make it a part-time job. Like, no, you can't compare Assassin's Creed Valhalla, where people are like, yeah, I put like 60 hours in the game and I don't feel like I'm farther, and then that to Persona. Like, I don't like, yeah, Persona is a long game in its own right, but it's nothing when you compare it to Ubisoft with its checklist of things that you have to do just to have fun. Like, nah, man. Have you played any Life is Strange games? I played the first Life is Strange. I really enjoyed it. Didn't really mess with any of like the sequels or the side games, but I'm playing the new one, True Colors. And True Colors is pretty cool. Hey, what's up, Johan? How you doing, bro? I burned my finger while testing to see if it was raw. Yeah, casualties of war, Bella. Casualties of war. Persona never feels like busy work. It doesn't, because you're learning about the characters and you're growing with the characters. You know, sure, some people might not like the fact that it's a very long game, but I'm not saying like because obviously everyone's experience is going to be different. But when 9 out of 10 people come out and say Valhalla feels like busy work, like, I'm like, it's one of them things, bro. Is turn-based combat dying? I wouldn't say it's like dying, but we're not seeing a lot of major turn-based focused combat games. Like the biggest turn-based game that we've gotten in the past couple years is undeniably Persona 5. But, you know, every now and then we get like a Western studio to put out like a strategy focused game. Like we had Gears Tactics come out. You know, XCOM is still a thing. But it's definitely not as marketable as shooty, stabby, stabby, bang, bang. I'll say that much. And it all comes down to you just supporting the games that you like. And the thing about JRPGs is, unfortunately, you kind of have to... you kind of have to do your research when it comes to JRPGs, because Persona 5 is probably the most exposure a mainstream JRPG has gotten in forever. Like, if you were to ask, like, modern people, like, what mainstream turn-based JRPGs that you like, they're like, well, I like Persona, and maybe they'll say Dragon Quest XI. Maybe they'll say Octopath Traveler. But it's no longer, like, gone are the days where we would have, like, lists of mainstream turn-based JRPGs that people love. Now it's like, okay, I like Persona 5, and if you like Persona 5, you'll probably like Trails of Cold Steel, and if you like Trails of Cold Steel, you'll like this other game. But I think that's the best part about doing your research with JRPGs, because you can find a lot of hidden gems. There was once a time when Persona was a hidden gem of a franchise, and people accepted it and loved it. So yeah, it all comes down to just like being a very savvy gamer, and then all that good stuff. Because the thing about Japanese games is that they're just so quirky that they're not... Like, people think that, oh yeah, Persona's big now and Yakuza is big now. Like, they're popular now, but it's not like it's... like, the average person who go into a GameStop is not going to know what Yakuza or Persona is. Like, sure, you'll have some people that come in who will know it, but, like, let's be real. Like, we're not... exceptions to the rule. There isn't many games I can think of that are longer than 10 hours that need to be longer than 10 hours. I would definitely disagree with that. A lot of good RPGs with really good storytelling. But yeah, I mean, as a general rule of thumb, if you're talking like mainstream action games, you kind of have to convince me, like, justify your existence if you go over 20 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like Last of Us Part 2, I loved that game, but you could have shaved off a good 5 to 7 hours of that story and it still would have been great. So yeah, I think that most games need to, if you are going to go over 10 hours, don't really go above 20 to 25. If your story doesn't call for it. Like, RPGs are very different, you know? Oh, damn, we got a Haru hater in the chat. But no, honestly, Marcus, I'm the same as you, man. I like Haru, but people are talking about, yeah, Haru's the best girl in Persona 5. I'm like, how? But then you get crucified, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, bro. Listen, I love The Last of Us 2. Like, that gameplay to me is a 10 out of 10. Nothing is topping that gameplay. Story, I will definitely have a conversation with people. But yeah, gameplay in that game is just like top notch. All right, so we got a couple super chats going in. I know we were just about to end it, but then John McKinney's like, this stream is over when I say it's over. So we got a couple of super chats coming in from John McKinney. Thank you so much, bro. So all right, here we go. So all coming in from John McKinney. My fan cast for Disney's Hunchback of Notre Dame so far, directed by David Fincher or Guillermo del Toro, PG-13, even darker in tone. So we pushing the rating right here. It'll draw elements from Disney's Berlin stage musical, Victor Hugo's novel, and scrapped ideas from the 1996 film. Adrienne Warren as Esmeralda, Nicholas Hoult as Quasimodo, Ryan Gosling as Captain Phoebus, Alan Rickman as Judge Claude Frollo. I can dream, can't I? I know, bro. Terrence Stamp as the Archdeacon, Lynn Miranda as Cloppen. I forgot exactly how you pronounce the name. It's been a while since I've seen it. Tim Robbins as Victor, Jason Alexander as Hugo. There you go. Lucy Lawless as Laverne, Salma Hayek as Quasimodo's mom, Cillian Murphy as Frollo in flashback scenes, and Frollo kills Quasimodo's mom in an even more graphic manner. The gargoyle's humor isn't over the top and confirmed to be imaginary. Esmeralda kills Judge Frollo as was originally planned in the 1996 film. Oh man, so for those who don't know, so first things first, shout out to John McKinney for the super chat drops. Like, you're the best, bro. Thank you. So John McKinney and I, we always talk about fan casting movies of stuff that we would love to see. Like, we got this ongoing thing going on where we're like, Jason Isaacs would be perfect in this role. You know, like we always do that. But yeah, so one of the movies that I don't think Disney will ever touch if they're doing a live action version is Hunchback of Notre Dame, partly due to the fact that that film, even by Disney standards, is one of the darkest films that they crafted. It came out during the Renaissance era, which some would argue was like the greatest era in Disney history. Like, they were producing banger after banger. But yeah, the thing about Hunchback of Notre Dame is if you look at it, it's never promoted like they do other films in that era. And you could say it's probably a popularity reason. You know, obviously Lion King and Aladdin are a lot more popular than the story of Quasimodo. But what we got from that story was absolutely phenomenal. And it's something that a lot of Disney stuff is lacking nowadays. This serious storytelling juxtaposed with, you know, heart and humor and levity. But one thing you can't escape is the story of Hunchback of Notre Dame is a very dark story, whether you are looking at the Disney-fied version or the original work. There's just a lot of things that go into that story that are not the most marketable to general audiences unless they know. But yeah, like what you've established right here is actually a really good cast. Like, some of these people I know, like Ryan Gosling and Nicholas Hoult. But then other ones I'm just like, oh, I'd have to go back and look and see if they would fit for it. But like, you're pretty spot on with your castings. Obviously, you've done your research for it. But the sad thing is, Alan Rickman would have been the perfect person to play Judge Frollo if he were with us. And that's just like one of those things where you think about it and you're like, oh yeah, absolutely. Because if you go back and you study the work of Alan Rickman, whether you saw him in Harry Potter or you saw him in Sweeney Todd or any other movies that he's done, he brings a different element to his roles. And you hear that a lot with actors, but it's true. Like, he just brings a different dimension to it. Same thing for like Willem Dafoe. Like, this man understood the assignment and he would have killed it. He absolutely would have killed it as Frollo. But no, I do like that Lin-Manuel Miranda as Clopin. I didn't even think of that, bro. But that, just knowing who Lin-Manuel Miranda is and what he's contributed, that's like perfect right then and there, man. And he can hit those notes, especially when they do the bells of Notre Dame. Oh, see, I can't even hit that. When I was 15, 16, I could hit them notes. But now, oh man, my voice has dropped a few octaves. Definitely. But I appreciate all the super chats, John McKinney. And as always, I appreciate your insight on all these castings, man. Thank you so much. All right, we got $5 coming in from the homie GC Plugs. Have a great night, bro. Hit me up anytime. Of course, as always, man, you know, you got my social media. Of course, we always be in contact. I see you, like I said, I see you getting litty. I see you getting litty out there, man. And then the last little shout out for the night is going to go to the brother, Marcus Doyle Terrell. And his question, oh boy, here we go. See, my voice is already starting to go. But, you know, we got to do a bit for the homies. I found out that my ex is using my name to make her current boyfriend jealous, and she used my name as a reference for a job. What's your thoughts? I'm going to read this shit again. I found out that my ex is using my name to make her current boyfriend jealous, and she used my name as a reference for a job. What are your thoughts? Hold up. I gotta play this shit, bro. I need just the clip. I just need the clip. I don't want the whole... I can't find just the clip. I have to go through the whole song. So that kills my joke. But anyways, all I gotta say is, this bitch, straight up, bro. Are you serious? Dude, it's one thing if she trying to use like you as a comparison to her new boyfriend or whatever. That's whatever. That's some weird toxic shit. But that's whatever. But to use your name to better her life, man, fuck out of here. You know what I would do? You know what I'd do? Because I know y'all's relationship, it ended on a bad note, right? If she used your name as a reference and they call you, it's demon time, my friend. That's what you need to do, bro. You don't got to confront her. You don't got to blow her up. You don't got to do none of that, bro. But if the opportunity arises, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, she used you as a reference. And you gonna give a reference. That's all I can say. Nah, but seriously, man, these bitches be crazy. Are you for real? Bro, yo. Nah, Marcus, you don't got to blow up on her. Don't do that shit, bro. We better than that. We protect your sanctity, your peace. Protect this more than anything, man. But also have a little fun. All right. Oh, Grimdara. Oh, Grimdara, my brother. I'm so sorry, bro. We're about to end the stream for the night. I'm so sorry, man. But, man, as you can see, my voice is starting to go, bro. I want to say thank you. Thank you all so much for coming through to this Ask Neo stream. The very first one of the new year. And as always, it's a pleasure and honor to be in y'all's privilege and kick it with y'all for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Honestly, if my voice wasn't still strained from this Omicron stuff, I would still go for like 3+ hours. But like already, man, my voice is starting to sound hoarse. But I want to say thank you to everybody for pulling up. Keep yourselves safe, keep yourselves healthy, keep yourselves happy, have fun with whatever y'all is doing. As you can see, I'm still getting into the mindset of how I used to do my outros. Like I had a nice structure and flow to it, but now it's like, yeah. But before we go, and I did not forget, we got to do something that we do on every single Ask Neo stream. And for those who are new for the very first time, we're going to do something called a hydration check. Now, what is a hydration check, you ask? A hydration check is my way of making sure that y'all drink your water. Because a lot of y'all ain't drinking a lot of water. And we got to do that because when you drink a lot of water, you're hydrated. When you're hydrated, you're healthier. All right? And most certainly, I need some hydration right now, man, because my voice is starting to go. So grab your favorite H2O beverage of choice. And I said H2O, I said no clear water. Because I know some of y'all be vodka drinkers and tequila drinkers. I know how y'all get down. And Flame, step away from the toilet. Step away from the toilet, Flame. Just because you have access to the water doesn't mean you should drink it. Anyways, all right, y'all. So on the count of 3, we're going to hydrate ourselves. 1, 2, 3. Hydration. Woo. Oh, man. I definitely needed that shit, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead. Bella, you better drink your water. Don't make me get your dad to go after you. I know your dad. I got his phone number. I'm about to be like, your daughter ain't drinking water, bro. We can't have that on my streams. That's what we do. That's what we do. But y'all, enjoy the rest of your evenings, your afternoons, your mornings, what have you. I'm gonna be back tomorrow night for the finale of the Doki Doki Literature Club live stream. And for those that know, you know, we're going to finish and wrap up that story. I'll probably not go too heavy with the voices just because my voice is, you know, it's going to take a while to get back to what it used to be. But we're going to do that stream. And then I have the podcast thing going up tomorrow evening. I just got to finish editing it. And then, yeah, just look forward to weekly uploads and weekly streams, man. But yeah, you know, from me to you for now, my name is NGS, and like always, I will catch you guys later. Peace out, y'all. Have a good one.